Hello and welcome to an introduction to qualitative research. So what is qualitative research? Well, the author Sharon Merriam suggests that qualitative research is about understanding the meaning that people have constructed. So that is how they make sense of or perceive their world and the experiences they have in the world. With regards to understanding how people construct meaning, we might want to focus on the ideas that people express through language that can be spoken, written or embodied. For individuals or groups that we're interested in, we would want to know what being in their world means for them. A weakness of Sharon Merriam's definition of qualitative research is that Merriam only talks about people, and we can equally study organisations, healthcare systems, political activity, states and economies as well. If we think about trying to understand the world of healthcare services, this might include things like roles and responsibilities, relationships, service users, policies, information systems, physical spaces, technologies, and of course understanding the effects of change over time in many different aspects of this world. So we'd like to know how different groups experience the world, this changing, unfolding environment in which they inhabit. And we do this by trying to learn something about their everyday lives and how they're influenced by specific changes in the health service environment, which might be a newly defined occupational role or a new appointment booking system, a patient safety improvement programme, or the introduction of a patient pathway. So what are the main qualitative methods that are used in evaluation within healthcare research? Well, the first of these is interviews, and interviews can be described as a conversation with a participant in your evaluation in which questions are directed towards the interviewer's particular need for collecting data. So interview questions can be structured, semi-structured, or the interview may instead be unstructured and revolve around a theme. Another method is focus groups. Focus groups are an organised discussion with a selected group of individuals to gain information about their views on a specific and usually predefined topic. And then we have documentary sources. So these are relevant pre-existing documents that you can collect and use as data rather than needing to create new data by conducting interviews and focus groups. Documents might include previous research on a topic, publicly available records, internal reports, minutes of meetings, and email chains such as discussion lists. And last but not least, observations. Observations are a method through which you generate your data by watching and observing people in events to find out about behaviours and interactions that are taking place in natural settings. And it's very much about studying people in the context of their daily lives, so recording and documenting what people say and do. And observations can be participant or non-participant observations. And in many cases, people often combine qualitative research methods rather than just using one method alone. Okay, so what role does qualitative research play in evaluation? Well, qualitative research could be used to describe how an intervention has affected service users' experiences of healthcare. In some studies, interviews will be conducted with staff and or patients both before and after an intervention in order to determine how their experience has changed. Qualitative research could be used to identify barriers and facilitators to the implementation of an intervention from the perspective of different staff groups. And an important role of qualitative studies is to obtain the views of different health professionals because of the perceived costs and benefits of an intervention, which can vary by stakeholder group. In mixed method studies, qualitative research could be used to describe how and why an intervention that has been shown to have an impact quantitatively has those effects. Adding a qualitative component to the study in this way can bring about a greater depth of information and understanding about the processes involved in implementing a successful intervention so that those processes might be replicated elsewhere. And finally, qualitative research can be used to place a given intervention in the context of other improvement activity so that its role relative to other improvement work can be evaluated. And that brings us to an end of this introduction